paying $1,500 for a Nissan that's only worth 11, 12 grand.
Because it's $575 a month, the car note, and then $1,000 a month for the insurance. I'm just making sure I hear that right.
Correct. Hello?
Hey, what's going on, brother? How are you?
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing good, man.
Thank you a lot for taking the time to even speak to me, because I just needed help. And I just turned 24, and I'm kind of clueless with the situation. But let me just start filling you in. 2 years ago, I believe, or almost, 2 years ago, I purchased a car. I had no credit, and it was from a dealership in the Bronx called Jamaica Motorsports, and basically it was a Nissan Ultima. I contacted the dealership because I had no credit, and since I had no credit, he was explaining to me that he can get me into a car that might not be the car that I want, but within 5 months I could trade it in when my credit is better and get something different. So I took his word because my friend grew up with him, and he has a nice dealership. So I needed a car at the time I was moving, and I ended up going to the dealership. The guy showed me the car. It had 57,000 miles. It was a Nissan Ultima SR, 2020. And they charged me basically $23,000. It ended up being 25, 26 with fees and everything. I was told that I was going to get charged $19 for it. I signed the paper. They ended up getting insurance from me and told me that it was $400 a month. A week goes by. Geico cancels my insurance and tells me that the information that they put in is not the right information. So I was like, what? I ended up spending $700 on the insurance. And then I realized that is fraud. So I was paying $1,500 for a Nissan that's only worth 11, 12 grand.
Well, hold on. Let's pause right quick. Let's pause right quick.
So I ended up, listen.
Yeah, so
I ended up.
Just so we're clear.
Let me just.
I got you, brother.
Okay.
But we're digesting a lot of information, so you gotta let me break it up, because you went from 0 to 100, and I know you're frustrated, so we'll figure it out.
I apologize.
Yeah. So you went to go buy a 2020 Nissan Ultima SR 2 years ago. You got approved, so zero credit, right? And what bank did you get approved with?
Lendbuzz.
Lendbuzz. Okay. What was your interest rate with Lendbuzz?
16%.
16%.
I thought it was 12%, but when I called them, because I was trying to find more information, they told me it was 16%. And I already was giving them a year's worth of payments, and my principal didn't go down, not one bit.
Got approved at a 15% interest rate or 16% interest rate with Lendbuzz for $575. The dealership got you insurance, but then later on the insurance company canceled the insurance because you believe that they have committed fraud to get you an insurance policy. So now you are paying around $1,500 a month for a 2020 Nissan Ultima SR, because it's $575 a month for the car note, and then $1,000 a month for the insurance. I'm just making sure I hear that right.
Correct.
You're not trolling, brother, right? You're crazy.
I swear to God, this is 100%. I can show. I had paid. They just mailed me a paper that said they sold the car at auction. And the reason why I know all this information is because I'm going through it. I wasn't a kid that knew how to even purchase a car. So This was my first ever time. And
so right now it's repoed. So that's what you're saying, right? They repoed the car.
So I voluntarily surrendered the car.
So you didn't pay for the car when it got to that point. You haven't been making payments.
So basically, since I was paying $1,000 in insurance, I couldn't keep up with my expenses. So I ended up being 2 months behind.
How much were you making a month to be able to pay $1,500 a month for the Nissan for 2 years?
So basically, honestly, I was just making $2,000 a month. I told the guy that I wanted to do DoorDash, right? And I had a side gig job. I was thinking that I was gonna get charged $600 a month in just everything, because that's what I was told, and that's what I was kind of promised. And then come to find out, I'm paying $1,500, and I couldn't afford it. So that's why I was stressed out. It sold for $8,000
at the auction. Okay,
$8,000.
All right.
Yes, but then they said that I owed them $15,000, and then they added $2,000 on just fees.
What you got to be responsible for this, right? And I tell people all the time when it comes to doing Uber Eats and stuff, or Uber Black or Uber, you should never invest into debt to say, hey, I want to buy a new car, I want to buy a car, especially if you're not in a good credit situation, to say, oh, I want to be an Uber driver, I want to do Uber Eats, or I want to do Instacart, because the problem is these companies are making money off of you more than you can make money off of them. If you're like, Yusuf, I owe $17,000, how do I get out of it?
Yes, I can make the number cheaper, because obviously I can't pay that full amount right now.
Yeah, a lawyer won't do anything for you. You signed a contract that with the bank, and then also the liability went off of the dealership when you signed the as is clause, right? What options you have in front of you, the only option that you can have that will allow you to kind of get back on your feet a little bit quicker is to call the bank and say, hey, Len Buzz, I don't have any money. Can I settle this car, right? I'll use 17. Can we do 5? Can we do 6? Can I do payment plan? Secure a credit card for $500. Start making good payments. Start establishing some relationships with some sort of lines of credit where you can pay. So maybe finding a way to find a service that'll report your rent payments to your credit history, or to get this major debt off of your head. So call the bank, figure out what they can do for you, and then you can just shoot me messages, tell me what they said. You're just gonna have to give this some time, to be honest.
I've been like a supporter, and I just want to say that your content been helping me learn a lot, and you've been making me interested in the car field. So that's all I wanted to say, and I appreciate you for giving me your time to speak to me and give me advice, because that really helps me out.
I appreciate. This is all part of a learning curve, and we all got to learn from our mistakes. And I hope that you learn from your mistakes. I learn from my mistakes. I make mistakes all the time, and we just got to grow together.
Thank you again for just giving me the time to even make me feel a little bit better, and just now I know what's the next step. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Bye.